So I'm overworking on a food plot today. I'm gonna try to get this cleared, this whole thing cleared today. It's gonna be close to 2 acres, long, narrow shooting lane. And you can see it's just growed up in big overgrown cedars on either side. So I got bedding on both sides of me. And then back here, there'll be a shooting house just past those cedars right there at the end of this power line. So this is an old unmaintained power line that just, got mowed every few years. So it's really growed up and nasty. But this will be I want to seed this in clover as soon as I can get it cleared, so we'll have some food in here in the springtime. Probably a nice spot for gobblers to come strut. I mean, earlier there was literally just an ATV trail up through here, and I would say I've gotten a half an acre cleared. I'm going to come back in here with a grapple and kind of use the teeth on the back of the grapple to kind of rip this up some. I mean, I was able to save some there's a few persimmons right along the edge there. I was able to save some of those. So every bit of this was done with what's basically a super heavy duty bush hog mounted on the front of a bobcat. So this is the Velx brush cutter. It's a 85 incher, and it'll cut trees down up to 10 inches in diameter. It's an amazing piece of equipment. I wish I had a cameraman here to film while it was operating, but unfortunately I don't. Maybe later this week. So I want to talk about a food plot strategy, and I want to show you guys how this is going to work. So this is one of the plots that I came in and cleared. I think it was back in February with the Bobcat and the Velx mower, brush saw, and all that good stuff. Because the stumps are still in the ground, I couldn't work the ground, and I knew that going in, so I was going to have to use some sort of no-till planting application. All right. So being February when I did it, I kept waiting on cold weather so I could frost seed clover in here. And that cold weather didn't come. Literally, we were having 70-degree days back in February. So in March, actually late March, I think I had to go back and look at my calendar. I think it was around the 28th of March. We had about 3 nights where it was going to be well below freezing. So I grabbed my clover seed, my spreader. I came up here and spread clover on these food plots. I did it on a wing and a prayer, and clover's a little slow to get established, but now there's clover seedlings all throughout this. But I've also got some grass coming in. So I'm gonna give this clover about another week, and then I'm going to come in here with clethodim, and I'm going to spray this grass to kill out the grass. The clethodim is a selective herbicide. It's Select is the name brand, but I buy the generic stuff, and I will spray this at a pretty healthy rate, 12 ounces to the acre, and kill this grass. So then all I'll have to contend with is the broadleaf weeds, and I will control those throughout the summer by mowing, and maybe later, we may do a 2,4-DB application depending on what starts coming here in the summertime. But we'll have a whole nother round of weeds once we hit that warm weather stuff. You got cool season weeds, you got warm season weeds, and we'll have to contend with a whole different batch of weeds later on. So we will control this first round of broadleafs with mowing, and I'll kill this grass out. It may take a couple applications to Select, but this fall this will be a beautiful stand of clover, and I can already tell because there's seedlings all over. I thought I'd give you guys an update of my power line food plot that I cleared back in the winter time, and then I came in and frost seeded clover in March. Last time I showed you guys, this clover was nothing more than just little small 2- and 3-leaf seedlings. Now I've got clover in here, a substantial amount of clover, and considering this ground, I don't even know when it was worked last. It had trees on it. 3 months ago, this was trees through here. That's the plot in the background there. There's a lot of weeds though. So just like my clover, when the sunlight hit it germinated. So did all this stuff that's been lying dormant under all these cedar trees are in here. And with all that lime and fertilizer I put on it, it is really exploding with growth. So I came in, today is 2 weeks ago, and I sprayed this with a mixture of clethodim and 2,4-DB, which will kill grasses, and it should kill grasses and broadleafs in clover and not damage the clover. And I got a lot of stuff killed, but I have a lot of stuff that's not killed as well. One of those being Cerisa lespedeza. I've noticed a little bit of thistle coming in. I've got quite a bit of sedges, different types of sedges. I know there's some yellow nut sedge and some other sedges. I can't identify them all, but there's a lot of stuff in here I didn't kill. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to give this another week, and then I'm going to come in here and mow it. Nothing is bloomed or seeded out right now except for some of the grass. I actually come in here with my weed eater and knock some of that grass down so it doesn't reseed itself. But the clethodim seems to have done a pretty good job on the grass. It looks a lot better in the second week than it did after the first week. So a lot of things are knocked down, and I don't know. We'll see how this turns out. Literally, I've done nothing but lime, fertilize, and sow clover and spray at one time. So I think it's looking pretty good. So here we are. We're up at the ridge, and you can see the power line food plot behind me. That's frost seeded clover from back in, I think we did that the third week of March. Been just maintaining it all summer, sprayed it a time or two, mowed it, and it looks really, really good right now. It's there's a few bare spots we'll go back in this winter and touch up. And if you can see those green rows up through there, while it was beat down this summer, I came in here with a no-till drill and drilled in a fall blend with some annual clovers, some radish, turnips, some wheat, and those things will kind of take advantage of the nitrogen that the clover deposits in the ground for its own use. And now we'll just let those brassicas kind of scavenge that nitrogen from them and have what I hope to be a food plot that will last all the way through winter, right on into February, March. And then by then, those annual clovers we drilled in will start greening up and carry us right on through summer again. And then we got perennial clovers to take in after that. So this is as good of a year-round food plot as you're going to get right here. I don't know if you can see way back there, right about there is a Banks blind. Hunt that with any south wind. And I'm looking right now at a tree on this other end here to hang a stand for a northwest wind that'll take your scent out over the road and over the neighbor's property. So you can hunt this with pretty much any wind. I love it.